Blockchain Summit, we will actually get a nearly full house, but believe it or not, here we are, and I see partners and collaborators from the UAE, I see partners and collaborators from Europe, I see partners and collaborators from far Asia, all coming here together to kick off this fantastic event that is called the Future Blockchain Summit. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. What we're going to do here is not little, but very much groundbreaking. I say that once because we've put a lot of time and effort into this, but from the other hand, I firmly believe that what you are here to witness today will ripple throughout the world for the next few months to come, as it is the first time that empirical research has been completed to talk about this ecosystem that we are daringly calling the crypto oasis. As crypto oasis, we believe that any ecosystem consists of three elements. The first element of an ecosystem is infrastructure. The infrastructure is what is the base layer for everything that we are doing. But when we're talking about infrastructure, we don't only mean the infrastructure that is the roads of the UAE, some of the best in the world. And I say that as someone born and raised in Germany. The German Autobahn hasn't seen Shara Sheikh Zayed, right? And we mean the regulatory infrastructure, right? The kind of infrastructure that allows companies to thrive. And last but not least, we mean digital infrastructure. And it's the digital infrastructure that is some of the best in the world, again, here in the UAE. All of these come together to create a unique selling point for this location, that is the UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. The best infrastructure in the world wouldn't be worth much if it isn't fueled by capital. And when we talk about capital, we mean the investors, the collectors that are moving into this space actively. And the last year has seen announcements of hundreds of millions of dollars, if not even billions of dollars of capital dedicated to this space, but from this space. I think this is the change. We've always seen capital, but it's the capital that is within the UAE, now moving to the Web3, blockchain, crypto space, more and more and more. But if there is one thing that I would call out as one of the unique selling points of the UAE, it is talent. The World Economic Forum suggests that within the next couple of years, more than 50% of the workforce will have to be reskilled in preparation for emerging technologies moving into mainstream. In the UAE, talent can move from all around the world in the most easy fashion. Being a Palestinian born and raised in Germany, I know how difficult it is to get just one person into the country. Here in the UAE, you will move from a one-person office to a 350-person office, as we've seen with many of the international exchanges that have landed here within months. Talent is flocking to the UAE because capital and infrastructure is found here in the UAE. Which prompted us to say, this region deserves its own name. Why should this be called the Silicon Valley of the region? Why should this be called anything else but something that is specific to this region? So we daringly call this space the crypto oasis. We will later hear from Alexia Hefti, a pioneer in this space. And while she was sitting on one of the panels, she came up with a catchphrase that I'm going to print on a t-shirt soon. She said, Web 2 was Silicon Valley, but Web 3 is crypto oasis. We see people moving here from all around the world. And people feel the buzz. People feel that special is happening here in the UAE. And we are very happy and proud to be a part of this. If there's one quote of His Highness, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, that summarizes everything that we have here in the UAE, It is one that he gave an answer to a question of an international reporter who asked him, what is the work culture like in the UAE? What's the secret sauce in the UAE? So His Highness turned to the camera and he said, and I'm quoting His Highness, paraphrasing, he said, every day in Africa, a gazelle wakes up thinking about how to outrun the fastest lion. There's a gazelle thinking about how can I outrun the fastest lion here to make sure that I survive, that I don't die. At the same time, a lion is waking up in Africa thinking, how can I outrun the slowest gazelle so I don't go to bed hungry, I can feed my children, and I can take care of my family. And His Highness then jokingly turned to the camera, smiled, and he said, in Dubai, I don't care if you're a lion or if you're a gazelle. In the morning, you better get up and run. And this is the vibe that we're feeling here, right? It is this vibe that is moving the UAE and Dubai forward more and more. This reached its epitome with the Dubai Metaverse strategy most recently, where His Highness said that we will create more than 40,000 jobs in this space, and the idea is to make the UAE one of the metaverse hubs in the world. The Dubai, Abu Dhabi, the UAE as a whole, to make them a metaverse hub in the world. And they said that we want to have 40,000 employees in this space, and we already have 1,000 companies. Now, guess what? We did the research, thousands of hours, hundreds of hours went into doing the research to come to you and today be able to issue this research to each and every one of you. You're the first people that are seeing this, and I'm very happy to be sharing with you that as of today, we can track more than 1,400 companies active in the UAE in this space. As of today, of these 1,400 plus companies, 65% of them are native organizations. These are companies that wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for blockchain, crypto, metaverse, NFT. With 35% of the companies being non-native. Think of the likes of IBM or Oracle or Amazon Web Services. If it was for Bitcoin or blockchain or crypto, they would still exist, but they are still active in this space. That is a staggeringly impressive number. 65% of this ecosystem is incepted because of this emerging technology. And what is even more surprising in the beginning, but we did the research and found out, there's more than 7,000 people working in this space in the UAE as of right now. This is a number that is backed by research that we've completed. A fantastic team behind this. We've all spent late night hours going through all of the announcements, going through all of the commercial registers to make sure that we are here able to bring you these numbers. At the heart of what we do in the thought leadership space to identify this space lies something called the Crypto Oasis Directory. The Crypto Oasis Directory will be available to every single one of you through our website. Over there, you will be able to see companies in this space, research them, and find out about them. There is a free-for-all version, and there is a premium version, of course, where you will receive more and more detail about what the Crypto Oasis is. And here you see an extract, a live extract of the directory that will go live later today. It's already live? All right. Go check out the Crypto Oasis directory. Right? With that, you will be able to identify and see the numbers behind this. We want people to know that this is a special place and we are building it together. Now, once we came up with the Crypto Oasis directory, we did the research, we worked with our partners and collaborators. We said we want to publish something. We want to publish a report into the public domain where we can put a snapshot in time, a baseline for growth. And this is the Crypto Oasis report that we're proudly to present to each and every one of you today in partnership with our fantastic partners at Roland Berger. In this report, you will find more than 40 thought leadership articles from experts from all around the world. In this report, you have ADGM, you have the IFC, you have the DMCC, the birthplace of the crypto Oasis, and all of them coming together, sharing this space, sharing their thought leadership about this space. You have State Street Digital, one of the largest banks in the world. You know, when the Federal Reserve wants to borrow, they go to State Street, right? They are here writing about this space, sharing their thought leadership with each and every one of us. And we are very proud today to have some of the collaborators of this report on stage to share a little bit more about what this meant and what we did to arrive there. So with that, I'd like you to give a big round of applause for our panelists, and I'd like to welcome the panelists up on stage. There you go. And Feroz, the mic is over there. So I'm very, very happy to be sharing the stage with you guys. All of you friends, all of you partners, all of you thought leaders in this space. I'd like to start with a very simple question. Why do you believe, Alexia, I'm looking at you, is this report something special? Let's just put it that way.
So good morning, everyone. Is this on?
I think so. Mic is on?
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone. So I had the pleasure of reading this report, and it is phenomenal. It is a labor of blockchain love. 2 years, 100 pages of comprehensive research. Roland Berger and Crypto Oasis, thank you for putting this together.
Thank you.
I think it deserves another round of applause.
Thank you. It's 200.
I did once say that Web 2.0 is Silicon Valley and Web 3.0 is Crypto Oasis. And honestly, that ecosystem report is testament to that. For me, there were two huge takeaways from the report that I think are important and really demonstrate how special it truly is. The first is that the UAE for the past couple of years has been telling us all about how great the UAE is and how it could create the conducive environment for our industry. This report details and provides us insight on how the UAE is walking the walk. From nearly 1,500 companies that have set up here, to the regulators, ADGM, DFSA, Tavara, we can really see that day in and day out. A big takeaway as well is that for a new nation to pioneer in a new industry, clearly there's a secret recipe. And for me, I call this, based on the report, the concerted ecosystem effort recipe. And there were 6 ingredients that I really took away from the report that are the ingredients that can make that so special. The first is a government that is willing and determined to build and deploy resources towards enabling this industry. 2 is our regulators. Here they have been open and willing to learn. They have welcomed their arms to other regulators specializing in digital assets, and they've also hired the best of the best. 3, free zones that have the physical infrastructure that are the best of the best to give us our physical requirements. We may be digital, but we have physical needs. 4th, ecosystem enablers, just like Crypto Oasis, that know our industry in and out. This report shows us that they have canvassed every single company. They know how many employees are here, they know what we're doing, and they know where we're going. Having an enabler that advocates for us and knows us is incredibly important. Expert consulting companies like Roland Berger that not only have our industry expertise, but a global vision, understand how other industries have done this and give this to us. And of course, to the people. All of us all of us blockchain entrepreneurs, companies that are working tirelessly day in and day out, and also doing a lot of word of mouth globally. I think this report is now our solution to not having to advertise all the time. We can just send it. It's incredible.
Wonderful.
I think the last thing is, honestly, if there's a blockchain secret sauce, this report, it's an instruction manual to making it work.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Alexia. And I'm very happy that we collaborate closely on things, and very happy that we have you here on stage launching this with us. Thank you so much. Feroz, I want to play this ball to you. We're Roland Berger. You're the co-head of what you call the crypto economy practice. Tell us more about why you feel that this report, this region, this effort deserves everyone's attention at some point.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Sakar. Thank you. Look, I came here from the Silicon Valley, so I came from the old economy, as you call it, right? So, and I saw how that economy built, and it was built on the shoulders of each other. It was never built in individualities. Even though entrepreneurs are very individual, you'd be surprised how much collaboration actually happens in the Valley and how all of the networks get formed. And I think let's not forget the beauty of that network and the addition of various people who bring in their various skills to make things happen. Right? Somebody once told me that if you want to put together a chemist, a physicist, a psychologist, and a mathematician together, go to the Silicon Valley, because you'll find them all within 10 kilometers of each other. Stanford's there,
right,
and the rest of the companies are there. We need to build that here. Simple as that. We need to build that here. And the good starting point to building it is to build ecosystems with all kinds of diversity, right? And when I mean by diversity, when I look at it from a global perspective and I see how large industrials and large companies are doing collaborations and building solutions in the blockchain space and creating layers of the crypto economy, what I sense is that they are looking at it from the perspective of a very, very diverse set of people getting together to add value, not just very monoline people who are focused on a very particular product-specific stuff. The other thing is that we obviously suffer from a large misnomer. Everybody thinks of crypto economy as cryptocurrency. We are spending a lot of time educating people, leaders around the world, that crypto economy is not cryptocurrency.
Right.
Crypto economy is a small part of it. So why is this report important? Because it's the first and important step in putting all of this together and creating this community that will start talking to each other. Yes, we compete. Yes, we run like gazelles and lions, right? But I'll tell you one thing, that even gazelles and lions have to eat in the same meadow, right? And this is the meadow that you have created, right? So Alexia said it very well with all the 6 ingredients, etc., that make things happen. But just remember that if we're going to compete globally, we have to compete in collaborative spirits, in making sure that we work together to achieve a goal and a cause. And that's really why I'm excited about this. Unfortunately, my colleague Pierre couldn't be here today, but he and I co-lead this globally. And the most amount of time we spend with our company is to educate, because I think that's where the lack is. So thank you very much for putting this together. I'm looking forward to looking at every single page of it. Just a little small snippet out of it. We did a survey with all the executives around to try to figure out who's interested in this economy and do they really care. And we are realizing that 70% of the executives want to at least understand. They may not do anything about it, but they at least want to understand. And to me, understanding is the first step towards doing, right? So I think we're going to spend a lot of time educating. And thanks to both of you, it's very important that we start the process forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And credit to you and Roland Berger and the team behind it for supporting us with that report. Gareth, you have a global lens. You could have gone anywhere in the world, but you chose UAE as your chosen home. Tell us more and tie that back to the report, please.
You know, I told it already very often. I came the first time in 1998 to the UAE. And I was wondering, what is this internet city and media city? Who is going to be there? At this time, I thought it's huge. today you can't see it beside all the skyscrapers over there. And I was following up on that. It's better now.
Yeah.
I was following up on that and saw, look, the infrastructure here is built, is world class. Capital is here. Capital is in the blockchain world, luckily all over the world. What we probably missed 15 years ago, 10 years ago was talent. 15 years ago, I remember everyone wanted to go to the US. There was this American dream. Also, I thought the green card in the US would be nice. And I personally believe the American dream has moved. It's now in the UAE. The growth potential all over the world, the openness, the everything can happen mentality is here. Yes, there's a lot of bullshit also around that. So it results is very, and that's the reason why it's important to have partners and to have a report like that to get through the bullshit. But when you look down, DMCC was one of the first supporters of the ecosystem. ADGM was one of the first putting regulations out. DFC was one of the first in Dubai. Now DWTC, VARA, everyone is following up. And I think it's very important. It's not a competition. This market here will grow 10 times. And we are not talking about, I want 5% of your market share or 3% of yours. We are talking about how do we grow that 10 times. And that's what I really like, building things.
I like that. I saw you nodding that along, growing 10 times. Do you believe that we'll grow 10x from where we are today?
Percentages aside, the growth will be significant. I had one of the largest blockchain companies, very well known in our space, nearly a decade old, that was visiting. The CEO was visiting this past weekend. When he arrived, he was just visiting. We invited him to 3 events. One of the events was a crypto Oasis event with some of the leading industry pioneers that have moved to the UAE. By the end of the weekend, he told me, we're setting up here.
Wow.
And he had no intention of setting up here when he came. He was just visiting for business. And to me, that's indicative of exponential growth. A community that excited him to come here, financial resources, of course, and opportunities that many of the other parts of the world just simply don't afford, including North America. And I think taken together, it should be indicative of what is going to occur here.
Nice. I mean, we personally, as Crypto Oasis, I always say I bet my life on this, right? I firmly believe that we are at this unique cusp of something phenomenal. And who knows, maybe we'll all remember back to this time and we'll say, hey, this is the first report that was issued and each one of you was a part of it and was there while this report is being issued. I firmly believe that we are at the cusp of something immense. Ralph, I want to play it back to you. We heard from Feroz a little bit on the insights of the report, the Roland Berger study that they did. Give us a little bit more of an insight about what is there specifically in the report.
Yeah. You know, we tried to figure out how many companies are there, and it's hard to figure that out because there's no central register. Every free zone has probably a register. You have a lot of events. You have 20,000 people on LinkedIn, by the way, who claim they do blockchain in the UAE,
right.
But you can't drag this down, these 20,000 people. So we couldn't use that number. We needed to go bottom up through every of those companies and see how many people are there. And LinkedIn is not always the truth of all.
Right.
So I think it's a starting point, and it's also a call for action, this report, to all the entrepreneurs around to please give us your numbers to help us to make the report better. Because there will be the number 2 and the number 3 and the number 4, and we will be more accurate on that. I remember that we did the first report in Switzerland, I think in 2018. And at this time, the quality of the data wasn't very good.
Right.
Even we worked hundreds of hours on it. And this is a starting point and call for action to the community. You know, you own your data, help us to make the report better and get it to the next level. But I'm already very proud of that, what the team did, what we have today. And if there's one guy in the room I want to say thank you, it's Jassi.
Yeah.
He's our designer. He did put everything together. And I mean, he worked day and night. I mean, the co-founders, of course, Faisal, Saka, everyone. But Jassi, I think he didn't get sleep the last 3 weeks. And I'm really proud of that.
Can we get a round of applause for Jassi, please? Jassi, this is for you. Right. And diving one level lower, talk to us about the thought leadership that we're getting in this report, Ralf.
Yeah, I mean, one interesting thing is, for example, D2A2. This is a new organization which tries to help to foster the regulatory framework here. And it's not a simple regulatory framework. You know, you have the free zones with their own regulator, you have ESCA and the central bank, you have now VARA. And I think when you come to Dubai, to have a first idea, where should I set up? What is the regulatory framework? What is allowed? And a lot of the things we do today, or the ecosystem is doing today, is not allowed.
Right.
So I think we need to be better and clearer and going into the right direction, because, you know, every fast-growing market will turn down one day. We saw this 6 months ago. We will see this again.
Right.
That's part of growth. And when I can tell something, there are experts in it. There's Calm Legal in it. There are other experts in it to help how to do the business right. There are investors in it. I mean, everyone is looking for investors. Everyone claims to be an investor. If he put $100 in Dogecoin, he's an investor in the crypto space. You know, there is a list of serious investors in that. There are strategy consultants like Roland Berger. If you want to go with your big corporate into the metaverse, there need to be a strategy. We are happy about everyone who is coming into that world, and our target is to support and help and find the right place.
That's amazing. And just looking around the room, I can see Andrea, who's given us a thought leadership piece. I can see Securrency, who gave us a thought leadership piece in the report. I can see many of our collaborators, such as the DMCC, who are mentioned in the report, and many, many others. The report is live right now, right, Faisal? Right? Cryptoaces.ae. You'll be able to download it, you'll be able to interact with it. I want to play this back to Feroz one more time, talking about what the potential is that you see in the crypto economy globally and also locally, of course.
Thanks, Sakir. So maybe I look at things slightly differently, right? Because if you look back and see the evolution of Dubai or the region, I've been here 14 years, and I've gone through running a venture capital arm all the way down to setting up companies and then becoming a consultant. So I've been through a long journey here. And when the journey just started, everybody either looked west or looked east, right? So they would say, look at the valley or look at, China and see what's happening over there. My thinking is slightly different. I just say, draw a line, a longitude line all the way down the planet, going via Dubai, and just look 25 degrees to the left and 25 degrees to the right. And you'll realize the amount of people that you can cater to just in that wide swath. You don't need to look further left, and don't need to look further right. And that's the important bit, is that as we develop our world, let's also understand that there are about 300 to 400 million people living just within our longitude. And I think if we just make sure that we uplift them, we bring them into the new economy, we bring new skills and new talent, I think there's a lot of work to be done. We don't need to look that far away.
Good, that's wonderful. I want to open this up for one or two questions, if there are questions from the audience. All right, that's good. I hope you will have many more when you read the report. Parting thoughts, starting with the lovely Lady Abed.
About the report?
Yes, please.
Honestly, it was mind-blowing, so I hope you'll be able to gain as much as I did from seeing who is actually in this ecosystem. Honestly, I knew we were doing great in the UAE, but I never had the information and the data to back it. And now I do, which is incredible. At the end of the day as well, I think it's really important from an accountability perspective. And I think the report is going to help us all make our industry better. Because before this report, there were a lot of people running around and we didn't know who they were. And now we know who's in the ecosystem and what they're doing. And I think that can only result in us keeping our industry cleaner and better, and honestly, resulting in it growing further in the UAE. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexia.
I think 1,000 is just a scratch, right? It's a beginning, right? And Sakar, we talked about this long time ago. So when you start looking at the ecosystem that's being built, because of all the fundamental building blocks, I think it's just a start, right? Because what you'll realize is that there are so many people who are willing to come here and make this a home, which is good for all of us, actually, right? So I think the next report I'm looking forward to is going to be leaps and bounds bigger.
I hope so.
And also, I think the most important thing you guys have done is to put this directory together. Because remember, as every company that gets born, there are also companies that die.
Yeah.
So we need to keep it contemporary.
It's an
to keep
evergreen.
it validated.
Yeah.
So thank you for all the effort that your team made. And we're lucky to be a contributor to this. And we hopefully will continue this journey with you.
Thank you for being part of the journey. Last but definitely not the least, Ralf.
I personally think the most important thing at the moment is we are talking about native and non-native companies. Native means only born because of the blockchain space. Those are not 1,000 companies yet. Those are 950, roughly like that. But remember back in 1998, 1999, we talked about internet companies, so native internet companies. Today, no one is talking about a native internet company.
Right.
Everyone implemented the internet in the business model. Everyone. And that's when our industry is going up. We will not talk about native or non-native. We will not talk about a regulatory framework only for virtual assets. We will not talk about, oh, this is only there because of blockchain. Every of the big corporations, every of the startups, everyone who's transacting with value will use blockchain technology. And I'm looking forward to the merge. When this report is not anymore needed because it's part of the ecosystem, then we are there.
Nice. I like that. And on the note of us being in a comparable time to the 1990s, I've been saying it for God knows how long, but it really feels that now is the time. In 1996, everyone was questioning about what the internet is and what the benefit of it is. Fast forward a couple of years, now it's in everyday life. So I firmly believe that it's 1996 and blockchain is the internet. The report is out. Thank you to the fantastic panelists for being a part of this, and thank you for joining us. Let's take a picture.
Could we get the report on the back? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
In front of the, say, if you don't mind. Yeah.